Good morning, everybody. That's La Casita de Piedras. You've probably seen it in the previous video here in Envigado. So it's nice to have you back. Good to see y'all. Y'all are back here. Sometimes my accent is from, in terms of English, South Carolina. So sometimes it's a southern drawl. Sometimes my accent is a New Yorker because I lived in New York. And as a teenager, I was born in New York, but I was raised in South Carolina, USA, and I lived in New York as a teenager, and then in Georgia as a young adult before I came on over to this part of the world where my family's from. But we got a lot of family born and raised in the States too, first, second, and third generation now, Colombian Americans, and a couple are Colombian Mexican American. So I decided to do this video just to show you a little bit of Envigado while I'm walking here from the San Jose and Guaymaro area. This place is called the 15 Letters. It used to be a granary shop where they would sell grains and some veggies and some canned goods. It was established in 1943, but today it's a bar, an old style bar with a lot of classic decoration inside, antique decoration. So if you're ever over here, you can come there and listen and hang out and see the locals. And I remember John O'Neill when he was back here in December 2022. He liked it, or was it December 2021? 2021, yeah. So we're walking down this way. My mom was born a few blocks away from here and raised here until she was 18 years old. Yeah. Something like that. And then, she was dating my dad and all that good stuff. And then they got married here. And then they went up to Canada right after they got married in 1971, May 1971. My mom and my dad got married in May 1971. And then a few days later, because my dad was already living in Canada, legally, in case you're asking the question, back in those days, it was easy to get a visa to go to Canada on tourism or for work. There was no problem with visa stuff for Colombians in Canada or anywhere in the world at that time. But these are these times, these are these times. So, then 3 months. Oh, look at that. Hey, kitty. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Poor little girl. Beautiful kitty, beautiful kitty. Merry Christmas. Alrighty. So, yeah. Then I guess I was conceived somewhere around the month of August. Or was it September or something? I don't know. Because I was born in May 1972. That puts me at 52 right now. This is December still, 2024. These are one of these shops here where they sell local little stuff, a little local shop, arepas and everything. So the other story the other day that I was telling, I think it was 2 videos ago when I was in Parque de Belén, or Belén Park, about my financial conundrum. Not really conundrum, but that was the title I wanted to use. A lot of people like to come over here to have coffee in the morning, that nice little colorful place right there in the corner. A lot of locals. So if you ever want the local vibe, come around here. Let's keep on walking. Oh, Dalmatian. I love dogs. Beautiful Dalmatian. Buenos días. Hola, perrito. And I remember, let me tell the story about the Dalmatian. Many years ago, back in, I think it was 1998. No, 99, I was dating Anna Maria, my ex-girlfriend. We dated for 4 years and some change, and we were going to get married and all that good stuff. I'll tell that story some other day if I remember. She was a good gal in general, good woman. And I remember I lived here. I was living in this area. I remember I was walking up towards Escobedo Road or whatever to teach a class up there. And I remember I was coming back from teaching the class, and I remember I saw this guy an elderly gentleman, well, I mean, much older than me at the time, because I was only about 28 years old at that time, and the guy was probably 55. And I remember that he was walking with a Dalmatian, but he had her on the rope. It was not even a leash and a collar. It was a female Dalmatian, beautiful, pure. And I said, "Oh, nice, beautiful dog." And he starts telling me the story that, "Oh man, Mister," because here they say "Don, no, Señor," Mister or Sir. I have to get rid of this dog because I work at a country. I work at some farm here, all the way up the road, up the way, and he told me get rid of the dog. So I can't keep it myself because I'm a poor man. I make a minimum salary every month. I can't, this is a pure breed dog, and I don't know what to do. They told me to just go get rid of it, tie it up to some place, and get rid of it. I'm like, what? So oh, Jefferson Starship. Jefferson Starship. Oh man, that's a good song. Look at that. I'm so in the song lyrics says, "I'm so glad I found you." I remember that doggy found me with that man, and I found her. And the story is that the man said he was going to get rid of the dog. He was going to get rid of it because that's what they told him to do. He couldn't keep her. He wanted to, but they said, I can't. And I said, "Look, man, I'll take the dog off your hands. I'll take her and everything. I can find a home for her." I thought I was going to keep her myself. But my dog, Cirillo, he was a male. For some reason, he tried to attack her like 3 times, and I had to keep him separated from her. So I had to put her in my cousin's house next door. And then my ex-girlfriend, hey, doggy, oh, look at that beauty there. Looks like she's an Australian Shepherd dog. Or a border collie. A border collie. Beautiful. She got a bindu right up on her. Hey baby, Merry Christmas to you too. I love doggies. So I talked to Anna. Anna talked to her father because her father is a doctor, surgeon, a medical doctor, surgeon, and he knew a lot of people because he had a big old country house with a lot of land in one part of Antioquia here in terms of this province or this state or department. And there goes the park over there, the the Dorado little park here that they made a couple of years ago and they inaugurated. Let's show it to you in a few moments. Wow, look, it's all dogs right now. This is thematic about dogs. And he had another property out in La Ceja, and he knew a lot of the people. So he was able to find Alberto. That's his name, Alberto. He's still alive. Last time I checked, found or knew. I don't have any contact with my ex-girlfriend anymore. But it's all good. And he got a family that had 2 children, a girl and a boy. The girl was like 8 years old, the boy was like 6 or 5, something like that. And they lived out in the countryside in Llano Grande, Rio Negro. And they wanted to adopt a doggy. So we got her a home. Happy ending. That doggy, that Dalmatian reminded me of her. I hadn't remembered that doggy since way back then. And I forgot what name we gave her. It was temporary because then the family adopted her and kept her. And she lived with them until she died. I remember talking to my ex-girlfriend because after we broke up, we were still in contact for a while because through mutual friends and everything. And then this and that. And I remember she told me when I asked her about, I forgot what the doggy's name was that we named her, but then she had another name. And she said she had a good life with that family. They loved her, the kids, and all that, took good care of her. And that was it. And she had a good life. So it was a happy ending for that Dalmatian that I rescued temporarily because then I couldn't keep her because my other dog didn't want her. For some reason, he felt jealous and he was trying to attack her. And I was like, usually it's uncommon for a male dog to want to attack a female dog, but it's not like it does happen, but it's not common. So anyway, I used to come to this gym when I was living with my mom up in that area, and I would come down here a lot when I could, when I had the chance to just do bars here, just here and hang on the bars and do pull-ups, do chin-ups, do other stretching, and then use these other machines there and the dip bars over there, and this thing over here for some cardio and this, and then they took away the bench press thing with your own weight. Buenos dias. There was a bench press thing here, and there was another one here. I guess they broke down and they haven't replaced them. Oh, that sucks. And then these here for people with handicaps or physical disabilities. They roll up on the wheelchair right there and everything, so they're inclusive to people with disabilities. And they can do here this too with the wheelchair. They just roll up here as they show them with the picture that the person is in the wheelchair. As you can see, that's the wheelchair image right there. The person sitting on the wheelchair, and then they can do these kinds of exercises. So it's a nice park, and then they got this little doggy park part enclosed right here with the doggies. And I always really like the husky right there, so they don't really come out, and it's just a little one. It's not as big as the ones I saw in Mexico City, but Mexico City is humongous, and they have things like this enclosures for dogs, but 4 times the size I remember seeing in the areas of La Condesa in Mexico City, and I think what's the other neighborhood, Roma Norte, that I used to walk around there a lot in my free time when I was not teaching, like in between classes, in between the AM and the PM classes, because yeah. So let's keep going towards the park. Wow, this is a nice long video. You're getting to see a little bit of everything. I'm going to show you a veggie restaurant, vegan, whatever it is, if you ever are interested in eating veg food, vegan food. A Duke 200 motorbike. There we go. So Envigado, yeah. Okay, back to the financial conundrum that I didn't finish off that thing because I started telling the story about the Dalmatian. And so, long story short is I'm happy, and the other things about that financial conundrum, it's not really a problem I have because I have money saved up. This is money I don't really touch because it's for a project that I have coming up in about 2 years, like I said in that video. But other things I didn't mention in that video because, you know, some of these things you forget. I don't script these things, I'm gonna write them down. I don't have a notebook so I can look at what it is I gotta talk about. Nope. And I remember also I took out a loan, a big loan, to invest in the little house I live in now, at the country house there, on my dad's property. I remember my dad and I, we put money together, him and me, and it was, the money was to get that little house livable at the time because it didn't have any windows. There was the walls were not stuccoed and whatever, you know, plastered, none of that. And so I took out a nice big loan in terms of my capacity at the time, and my father his part, and that was another thing that made me go into more debt. Plus all the traveling is beautiful, and then whatever else, a little money. So I've taken out a lot of loans, used my credit card over the years since 2018 in order to travel, pay for Airbnbs, pay for airline tickets. So it's all been good, and no regrets on my part. No regrets, because traveling has really broadened my mind, opened it up so much more than it was already before I started traveling in the world. So it's cool. It's cool. Dulce, this is the restaurant here. Dulce, plant-based. As you can see, the sign right there says plant-based food right there, and it's a good restaurant. They only open up around lunchtime, and the daily lunch lunch special, and they may have a couple other things they offer, and then they have some refrigerated veggie burgers and everything in packs of 5 that are sealed in the little whatever, and you can buy them. And some other stuff, and they sell some of the little trinkets there. And they got the restaurant, the part in the back. You don't have to sit in there in the front. You could go all the way to the back. There's like a little courtyard, and very nice. And it's all vegan there. So yeah. So just finishing up that story. No regrets. I've paid off most of those debts, plus some debts I accumulated way back when I bought my Chevrolet Swift second-hand car here back in 2003. So I paid off most of these debts. Still owe some money, but not to the bank. Well, I still have some debts with the bank anyway. That's another thing from that loan that I took out to get the little house fixed up with my father and all that stuff. And so yeah, here we are. So here's a fruit shop here. Bananas, plátano. This is plátano maduro, not a banana, but a type of banana. But you don't need it like a regular banana. Normally they fry it or bake it in an oven and eat it with a lot of butter and some cheese, Colombian cheese, quesito or cuajada, but it's better with quesito. It's delicious, and we're a block away. One more block and we'll be hitting the park. So I'm glad I decided to make this video and show you a little bit and talk the talk. I mean, have you guys found yourself in a financial conundrum before? Many of us have. Me, many times. That's the new government building they're building there. That's a government building right there for the government of Envigado, the municipality. And now these people are waiting to go into Tigo. Tigo's a headache these days to come and try to get something done when you got a line, mobile phone line or some kind of internet service at home or TV service. And sometimes the waiting time is an hour and a half to get something resolved, and sometimes they're not really helpful. They screwed me over a few years ago when I left in 2021 to go live in Mexico. They screwed me big time because I came and I canceled my telephone line that I had, my mobile phone number, my cell phone number line, and I asked them, is everything okay? Is everything good? Do I owe any money? Is there anything else I need to do? And they say, no sir, everything is good. I'm like, you sure? Yes. Do I need to get something more? Do I need to do something else? No sir, you don't have to do anything else. I went there. So I left to Mexico because I wasn't going to come back to Colombia. There was no reason to keep paying that phone line, that cell phone line. I come back 6 months later, just for a few days, but that turned out to be 2 years because I was almost 2 years because I was taking care of my mom during her illness. And I remember, like, after I had come back, like 3 months later or something, I got some emails saying that they were going to take me to court because I had not paid my mobile phone bill. I'm like, excuse me, what? What are you talking about? I remember I went to talk to them and everything. He's like, yes sir, you do owe this and this. Yeah, but I canceled the line when I was here with you guys here. I talked to somebody and they said it was okay. Oh no, I'm sorry sir, that person was wrong. That person made a mistake. I'm like, I don't remember who that person was. And you guys, I came to you guys and I asked you, I'm sorry, we can't do anything sir. That's life. It is what it is. You have to come to an agreement with the law firm that represents us for these cases, and pay them, and then bring us the thing, the receipt, and then we'll clear your name. I'm like, really? Oh, really? Wow. And I heard so many cases like that here in Colombia, even there at Tigo, that some people had similar experiences with Tigo, that they would never do that again. And they will go to other mobile phone company lines, service providers, and that's it. So even if you do go to another mobile service provider, they'll still screw you if you don't ask for what they call paz y salvo. When you cancel a line, whether it be a home line, mobile phone line, internet service line, whatever, you got to ask what they call a paz y salvo. It's a certificate of good standing, that you are in good standing with the company when you terminate the services they're providing to you, that you're no longer going to be a customer of theirs. And you got to get that, because they're not, I don't know if in the rest of the world, if in the US and Canada, India, wherever, England, they do that, but they stick it to you here. That sucks. I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm living a human experience, and it does piss you off when they rob you so blindly and in front of your face, because you trust, you believe in the person, the customer service person there, the representative at the offices, and they tell you don't need to do anything more, you're good, you can go, don't worry, you can leave the country. When you come back and you find out that, hell, it ain't like that, and you better pay, Jack, or we're going to screw you big time because you never got that little document. So some things is just shady people these days, shady companies, and they have their policies, and they try to do that. After my mom passed away, with one of her mobile service lines that she had, I went to cancel it, and when I canceled it, I had already had the experience with Tigo, and this was with Movistar or Claro, one of those two. And then when I paid off with was out on her line, I said, please cancel this line. It's my mother's line. She's dead. I had to show them her death certificate certifying she was dead, and that I was not an imposter, and my last name, my mother and whatever, that I'm the son and I'm representing her. She's gone. She's not in this earthly realm anymore in that body. And then after I paid that thing, I say, okay, is everything good? My mom, she's gone, but does she owe anything else? No, sir, everything's good. I said, okay, give me a paz y salvo, a certificate of good standing. Oh, sorry, we don't do that. Yes, you do. Because I already got screwed by another company, and they told me that you got to do that with every cell phone provider, no matter who it is. You got to ask for that, or else they will take you to the bank. So I got it. The guy was giving me a hard time, and that's because they're trained. They're trained to screw people over, and they don't want to lose their jobs, because if they don't play ball, they fire them and they get somebody who will. So I understand that. I don't hate the guy, but I'm like, okay, you're playing their game. I get you, no problem. You're playing with them because you need a job, or you like it, or you want to do that to people. So I forced him to give me one, and he gave me one, so they wouldn't come after my mom's line and try to get us and saying that she didn't pay, even though she's dead, that we, the family, because for some reason in many countries, the surviving family members, the next of kin, have to pay for a person's financial obligations, even though they're gone. But you have you're not obliged to, but they're making you obligated, like you have to. Anyhow, that's the end of these stories here in Envigado. Oh, look at Scruffy running across the street. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've had any difficulties like this in your country or here in Colombia, please let us know in the comment section. It would be good to know if you've also had difficulties like this with whatever. Now I got to go into this bank because they also screwed me. But I'll tell you in another video, if I remember, how Banco de Occidente screwed me with my credit card. And it was not my fault. It was theirs. And I had to pay.